There we go. Well, your team had every reason to lose faith in this game today. You trailed all day long, and then when you finally got the lead, you gave it right back. Bases loaded, nobody out, and you get out of it. I mean, I think that says a lot about how tough your young men are.
Yeah, I mean, our guys are pretty resilient. You know, we had the same kind of circumstances in the regional final against Virginia. We were down. We trailed the entire game up until the sixth inning, so where we came back. But today, the big thing is we have the experience. You know, we have two guys that were here a year ago. They were part of that team that lost the first two games, William Satinoff and Jack Rhodes. And if there's one person I want on the mound in that situation, it's Jack Rhodes because of his experience. And if there's one person in the world that I want them to hit the ball to or near, it's William Satinoff in that situation. And he made a great diving play, which will be remembered on ESPN forever.
Yeah, you talk about Jack. I mean, the bases loaded and nobody out, and he didn't buckle at all. I mean, he just went right after him.
He's that guy. He's that guy for us. And Jack and I have a very special, bond. Because we've been together for 2 years, and I watched him grow a lot. Last year he didn't play a ton. He was a defensive guy that was a really good catcher, but he didn't hit a whole lot. And this year he's the opposite, man. The kid can play. He's a heck of a baseball player, and he can really hit, and he can really catch, but he can also pitch. So he's a well-rounded athlete. And that situation, I just looked at him when I went to the mound. I don't know if I was on TV or not when I was talking to them. So forgive me if you've already seen it. But I just went out there and want to tell him that I was confident in him and I believed in him. And usually when I look at him and tell him that, he gets, his chest puffs out a little bit and he goes up a notch or two. And that's exactly what happened.
You always want kids who rise to the occasion. And you talked about the catch by Will. I mean, that saved your tournament.
I mean, yeah, for sure. If that ball gets down, we lose. No question, but Sadie's that guy, in the district tournament against Goodlettsville, he was the guy that got us started and Jack hit him in the regional, in the state tournament, Sadie led our team in hitting and Jack hit the most home runs off our teams. In the regional tournament, they were the two that got us started in that sixth inning and against Virginia in that regional championship. So those two guys, they're just those kids, but every coach would want them on their team. So I'm just fortunate enough that they're on mine.
Talk about for your team, how important is it that you stayed out of that losers bracket and made it to the semifinals with no losses at this point?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to be in that winners bracket final because those teams that are in the losers bracket have to use a lot of pitching to get there. We have a lot, we only have one pitcher that won't be available tomorrow, in 2 days, and that's Trent McNeil, who threw an amazing game today. What a game by that kid. He's done it twice now in the World Series, but that kid has really stepped up too. But if you stay out of that losers bracket, it gives you rest, which that's always important. And two, you're pitching. That's the thing is the teams run out of pitching when they get stuck in that losers bracket. And that's definitely not somewhere we want to be.
Well, I don't coach on your level, but I have a 9-year-old daughter and I've coached her soccer team the last 3 years. It was the most rewarding. I put her in club this year because I think she's at the age where she stopped listening to me. But it was the most rewarding experience of my life, and I loved it. And the thing I did not expect, and I thought about it as I watched your team today. My favorite moments were when we were losing, because those were the character moments. Those were the moments you could build your kids up.
Yeah, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about your kids when that happens. And we lost the game in the state tournament early and had to play through the losers bracket and win 5 days straight against them. And I told the boys then, I said, look, you needed to lose. You need to learn how to lose before you appreciate how to win. And I think they took it to heart, and we haven't lost since. So, I think that we needed to know how to handle losing first before we could really, really start winning. And I know exactly what you're talking about when you're losing and you're down, and you can look and you can see in the dugout who's given up, and you can see who believes. And we got a full team of believers right now.
All right. Last thing I want to ask you. I mean, how hard is it to believe you're 2 wins away from a U.S. championship? I mean, it's a big country.
Yeah. There's 53 teams, or 53 states is what it's called. But, there's 2 in Texas, 2 in California, and then you add in Washington, D.C. So you have all those teams best team out of those regions coming to play in a regional, and then the best of those coming to play at the World Series. So you're only playing the greatest and best teams from the country. And right now, the worst we could finish is third in the U.S. and sixth in the world. So there's 6,500 leagues in just the United States. So we would be in the top 3 of those, which is, I mean, just talking about it is pretty special.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's something you'll have your rest of your life, and all your kids will have the rest of their lives, along with all the awesome swag that they get. So that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Especially after going 0-2 last year. You know, we lost the first 2 games and we never really got into the thick of the tournament. And to come back and do it this year and be 3-0 is pretty impressive by these kids. I'm really proud of them.
Well, I really appreciate your time. I'm glad I got back to work in time to talk to you while you were in the tournament. I mean, you know how it is here. Everybody's watching you. I was at Titans practice today, and all everybody was asking about is what's the score? What's the score? What's the score?
That's fantastic. You know, the support's been amazing, and it's just great that people are watching. I mean, what can make you more happy than Little League baseball? You know, it's so much fun to watch, and this event is so good every year because there's really not any other championship sports going on right now. You know, we're not to the MLB season end. It's not even close to hockey or football or NBA. So it's kind of set on its own, and a lot of people tune in. So that's a really cool thing. And we get messages every day from celebrities and professional athletes saying, "Hey, we watched your game." And that's, to me, that's really special. And to the boys, it's something they'll remember forever.
Well, I appreciate your time. Get some rest. And when do you play again?
Wednesday at 3:00 Eastern time.
Perfect.
Is what the set time is. So
all right.
Well, it should be a fun game.
Tell the boys everybody's rooting for them. Thank you so much.
I will.
Talk to you then.
We'll talk to you soon.